That must be a tough day, right? When you get cancelled.
Well, you know what? There's two things to this, isn't it? Again, it's a sliding scale. If getting cancelled is being culpable for your actions, then yeah, that's always been around. If getting cancelled is I don't like you as a comedian, I'm burning your DVDs and I'm never coming to one of your shows, that's great. That's their right. If being cancelled is I've just found a 25-year-old email from someone who said the wrong thing in private, and now they've got a top job and we have to destroy their career.
Trusting the government these days is like asking a fox to guard a hen house, isn't it? Known for his unyielding opinions, Ricky Gervais has fearlessly criticized Rachel Reeves and the Labour government, and his message is impossible to overlook. What is he trying to convey? Simply put, you just can't trust them, especially after they've left a trail of broken promises and half-truths that have let down millions. Just think about it. How many times have we heard politicians claim they're working for the people, only to watch them change the rules to benefit themselves? Gervais hasn't held back in his critiques, boldly highlighting the lies and inconsistencies he perceives in Reeves' policies and statements. He points to instances of dishonesty that have left voters feeling disillusioned and desperate for genuine change. These aren't just words. They are the heartfelt cries of those who are fed up with deception and manipulation.
A quote here from a pretty prominent economist, and they say that Labour needs to provide an alternative to aggressive policies being prioritised by the Conservatives. The banks and those earning more than £100,000 could quite easily contribute a little more, and unless they do, inequality and poverty will inevitably soar in the months and years ahead. Do you agree with that statement?
The way that I believe that you can reduce inequality, reduce poverty, and actually also improve the living standards of ordinary working people, not in poverty, but struggling to get by, is through growing the economy.
You know, the economist that she quoted, that was actually you.
Well, look, I mean, I want to reduce poverty and inequality. I didn't go into politics, but how do you do that? What are the practical things that we can do?
Well, your suggestion in that quote was to tax the banks more and those earning more than £100,000 more, but you've gone back on that.
Well, look, the way that I think that we can lift people out of poverty and reduce inequality, as I say, is to get the economy growing.
Let's be honest, he's completely right. Public trust in the government has been eroding for years, and that's incredibly concerning. Research indicates that an increasing number of people doubt whether their leaders are truly acting in their best interests. From broken promises to dubious backroom deals, every misstep chips away at the last vestiges of trust, leaving people feeling hopeless. Gervais skillfully taps into this growing frustration, voicing the anger that many feel but struggle to express. It's not just disappointment, it's a deep-seated sense of being overlooked, as if their voices don't matter. Politicians campaign with bold slogans about change, justice, and progress, promising a brighter future. Yet, once they gain power, those promises often vanish into thin air like smoke. Gervais's perspective is compelling. If Reeves can't keep her word, how can anyone have faith in this system? How can we hold on to hope for change when each day reinforces the idea that nothing ever really changes?
I want to go, well, hold on, this is what's happened? What's happened here? You know, and you usually find ulterior motive, because no one really cares about the argument anymore or the principle. They just care about who's saying it. They're trying to take down a general on the other side, and it falls into tribes, you know, and I see it all the time. And you see it more clearly on Twitter, because you look at their profile and they've got all their credentials in there, and then they're trying to get someone cancelled who's got the other credentials, and you think, well, you're not even listening to each other now. You've just read each other's bio.
However, it's not just about Reeves. Gervais boldly targets the entire leadership of the Labour Party, highlighting that trust in them is rapidly eroding. And he's not alone in this sentiment. Opinion polls indicate that faith in politicians across the board has reached a critical low, and that's concerning. What's truly remarkable is that Gervais isn't a political expert. He's a comedian, yet his words cut deeper than most political speeches. Why is that? Because they resonate with the widespread frustration many people are feeling. If the government can't be trusted to uphold its promises, then what's the point of making them? Ricky Gervais isn't afraid to shine a light on political dishonesty. After criticizing Rachel Reeves, he broadened his critique to question the entire reliability of the government. His argument: politicians have become adept at saying one thing while doing another, leaving the public in a perpetual state of betrayal and disappointment. Gervais views this issue as systemic.
We've got our rules. Unless you're the Prime Minister. Political satire, right? I don't get political. I feel like it though. I'm getting angrier and holding it all in more and more. Even live, I don't really get political. I think I've been naive. I've hit that age where I go, well, they're all fucking lying, shitty little fucking corrupt.
This is not an isolated incident. Reeves' challenges clearly mirror the struggles of her Labour Party colleagues. Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner both have encountered similar situations, particularly when facing tough questioning from seasoned interviewers like Neil. For many of them, these interviews serve as a true test of leadership, an opportunity to prove their ability to handle pressure and express their ideas clearly. Yet, time and again, the Labour Party leadership has faltered, and this is deeply concerning. Is it merely nerves? Or does it point to more significant issues within the Labour Party's communication strategy? Critics argue that these repeated missteps reveal a lack of preparation or even a lack of confidence in their policies. Regardless, this does not instill trust in the leadership team. For a party that is desperately trying to rebuild its credibility, this poses a significant hurdle. If its leaders cannot convincingly defend their positions in interviews, how can they expect to persuade the public to support them? The stakes are high, and such performances only exacerbate the Labour Party's predicament, leaving them in a state of uncertainty and despair.
I think we need to do more to ensure that you don't have to rely on the bank of mum and dad.
It's very evident that the idea of owning a property is becoming more of a dream than a reality. Now that you are in power, what are the plans to make housing more affordable for young people?
Well, I think we need to do more to ensure that you don't have to rely on the bank of mum and dad. And that's why we're looking at things like a guarantor scheme to help more young people get on the housing ladder. But I think the most important thing of all is to build homes. And that's why we've made a commitment to build 1.5 million homes in this Parliament. Because unless we're building homes, what we're going to find is that the prices continue to go up and up and up, and the number of people looking to buy their own home is not going to be met by the supply of homes available. And it's why we're reforming the planning system to make it easier for builders to build and to make it harder for the blockers to stop the development that we really, really need, including with new towns, which is something that we can replicate some of that success we had in the post-war period of building new towns, new communities, the places.
This skepticism extends beyond the UK. It affects governments worldwide. Trust is like fragile glass, much easier to shatter than to mend. Gervais' words resonate deeply with many because they capture the profound feelings and frustrations of the public. If trust is lost, what is left? In high-pressure interviews, Rachel Reeves often seems to falter and struggles to engage the audience. A striking example of this was her encounter with Andrew Neil. Confronted with tough and direct questions, Reeves stumbled, delivering answers that were clearly muddled. Instead of appearing confident and well-prepared, she came across as insecure, leading viewers to question her ability to tackle critical issues.
Twats. They was just lying in their own part. And I just think, I thought there was good guys and bad guys. But now I just think they're all little fucking shits. Is that political? Is that some really nuanced insight into the workings of society? Greedy little fucking posh twats. Good, that's why I don't get political.
Rachel Reeves has pledged to support the working class, assuring voters that there will be no new tax increases during her leadership. For many, this promise became the cornerstone of her popularity, a genuine hope that the Labour Party would safeguard ordinary people from further financial hardships. But what happens when these promises prove to be hollow. Contrary to her assurances, Reeves' policies include tax increases that, according to many, deliver a devastating blow to those she vowed to help. For instance, the rise in the threshold for personal inheritance tax benefits until 2030 sparked a wave of outrage and anger. Critics contend that this disproportionately impacts middle-class families striving to maintain their generational wealth. Additionally, the proposed reforms in agriculture and business support, set to take effect in 2026, are likely to impose further financial burdens on small farmers and entrepreneurs, leaving them in a state of uncertainty and anxiety about their future.
Rachel Reeves should do the right thing and resign.
Oh, good Lord. We've all lied on our CV. I think she just needs to fess up.
It's not a question of lying on the CV, Nick. This is a case of deliberately misrepresenting your experience. I don't believe for one instance that Rachel Reeves is an economist and has been anywhere near the formulation of any kind of financial policy during her work experience. I think she's totally unqualified for this job, and I think she should do the right thing, which is to resign. A person who's in a position of financial trust cannot abuse that trust in any way whatsoever, and she has abused voters' trust immensely.
These actions have prompted many to question whether Reeves is genuinely advocating for the interests of the working class. Is she prioritizing long-term financial goals over the immediate needs of families in urgent need of support? Critics of Reeves argue that her actions portray her as a leader who completely misreads the concerns of those she claims to protect. For voters, trust is paramount, and when it is compromised, the repercussions can be severe. Unfulfilled promises not only damage Reeves' credibility, but also cast doubt on the entire Labour Party platform. If Reeves cannot uphold her commitments, how can the public be expected to believe in the rest of the party's agenda? Rachel Reeves has made ambitious promises to tackle the housing crisis, vowing to build more homes and enhance the healthcare system. On paper, this seems like a positive step toward improving societal well-being, but the reality has proven to be quite different. The failure to deliver on these promises has sparked a wave of criticism, particularly concerning who these homes are meant for and how they will be allocated. Critics assert that a significant portion of the new housing appears to be aimed at migrants, leading to heated debates and divisions within society. Many feel that this approach overlooks the needs of British citizens struggling with serious housing affordability issues. This perception of misallocation of resources has fueled deep frustration, and opponents have accused Reeves of prioritizing one group at the expense of another, leaving those who truly need assistance in distress. Share your thoughts and see you soon.